Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, in today's topic, we will discuss a few um, incidents that occurred immediately after the Battle of Uhud. I'll see how much time we have and then go into the relevant detail as the time allows. Now, all three of them are worth mentioning because, one way or another, they brought some fiqhi issues out and to date, we have a few things that started off because of those incidents. And then the Prophet also did some things in terms of dua, special dua, invocation um, for a very, very long time. Hence, I feel it is quite important that we discuss it here. Now, three of the things that we'll discuss today. One is Abu Salama's mission, the well of Raji, and the well of Mauna. Now, in the immediate aftermath of Uhud, there was a Qabila, there was a tribe led by a person called Banu Asad bin Khuzaima. And he basically, what he did was he started gathering people to fight against the Muslims. So immediately after Uhud, like literally few days after that, um, they started gathering people and they were doing this fitna of going out and fighting Muslims. In the scenario, the Prophet ﷺ gathered Sahaba, about 150-ish, led by Abu Salama, and they were sent to neutralize the attempt. So what they did was they went in the valley, did a surprise attack, neutralized their attempt, dispersed them, captured their cattle, and came back. Abu Salama sustained some injuries already in Uhud, and after this battle they became worse, and eventually he died. And his wife, Salama, she became one of the Ummahatul Mu'mineen. We might be discussing the Prophet's wives in the next class, but because by now there are 5 wives or 4 wives, that's it next class, inshallah. So Abu Salama's mission was basically immediately after Uhud to go and neutralize the people who have taken up arms against the Muslims. Now remember one thing again, I'll do this disclaimer just in case people take it incorrectly. This is something that has happened in history. This is a public domain information. What we are doing here is only educating our children on the events that have occurred in Islamic history. It's just like any history, may it be Mongols, may it be the Christian history or anyone else which is full of wars and battles. So similarly, Islamic history is no separate. We have lots of battles. We have a lot of these things in our history, and that's why we mention each and everything. In our lessons, we do not. The purpose is not to ask anyone to go on and about and become hyper, but rather to learn virtues and lessons that came out of these battles, what happened, and also learn about history as to the love of the Sahaba for the Prophet, what happened, how it happened, what was the real thing that happened, so that you guys don't have any misconceptions about it. Because a lot of times there are certain books that talk about things that have never even occurred, and they basically distort our beliefs as well. Hence, it is quite important that we look into it from a correct point of view with correct references, and we have a correct opinion about it as well. And obviously, because it is all happening in Islamic history, we also take lessons from it and try to see how we can improve our own lives and become a better Muslim. In return, we can become a better human as well. Now, second incident that happened is, in fact, 4 incidents. The second one is mobilization of Abdullah bin Unais. Now, another thing that happened was there was a tribe called Hudail, and it was led by a guy called Khalid bin Sufyan. Now, Khalid bin Sufyan basically also started gathering people so that they can come and attack Medina. However, the Prophet ﷺ got a wahi and he got to know about his evil plans. So he asked one Sahabi, his name is Abdullah bin Unais, that this person needs to be taken care of because if he's not taken care of, he's going to come and attack Medina, which is not quite good because it's like literally few days uh, after Uhud. So what they do is they a few months after Uhud, sorry. What they do is they send Abdullah bin Unais. Now Abdullah bin Unais says, Ya Rasulullah, how am I going to identify this person? I have never not seen him. The Prophet also haven't seen Khalid bin Sufyan. So the Prophet says he is in the valley of Harra, the valley of Arana, sorry, the valley of Arana. And when you see him, you would not have seen anyone like that before, and your heart will feel a fear. Your heart will become frightened to see him. So it was like, okay, fine, inshallah, let me go. So this guy, Abdullah bin Unais, radiallahu anhu, he leaves with only his sword, nothing else, and he starts walking in the desert where this valley was located, Valley of Arana. Now, as he was going, a Salah time came. Now, few books mention that it was Zohar, few books mention it's Asr, but it doesn't matter whether it was Zohar or it's Asr. What matters is that he saw this person at a distance. While he was walking towards him, he could not show that he's a Muslim, but he cannot leave his Salah either because he knew that by the time I go there and by the time I complete my mission and come back, I will miss my Salah. So what he did was, while he was walking, he started praying the Salah. And he just prayed Salah with his eye gestures and finger gestures or hand gestures. He didn't do anything. He didn't face the Qibla. He didn't do anything. While he was walking, he just prayed the Salah. Later on, this Salah was called as Salatul Khawf. That if there are conditions that to be met. If those conditions are met, then people can pray like this without having any direction of Qibla or any particular thing. But these are rare times and rare occasions, and obviously the Sahabi made an ijtihad, and today that thing is called Salatul Khawf. Now, when Abdullah bin Unais reached this guy Khalid bin Sufyan, he himself says that I had never seen someone like that ever before. So he was like Sadaqallah wa Rasuluhu. The Prophet said the truth, Allah says truth, and the Prophet says the truth. Because he was frightened when he saw him. So he basically pretended as if he wants to join his army or his forces and he's going to take part in it, etc., etc. And when he saw Khalid bin Sufyan alone, he basically assassinated him. And then he came back to the Prophet. When he came back, the Prophet remarked, may your face be successful. And obviously the Prophet knew that he was successful, that's why he came back. So as a gift, as a reward, the Prophet gave him a staff, one of those big sticks where you can basically hold on. Don't want to give these examples, but I don't know where. There is an example, but I will refrain from it because we are teaching Seerah right now. Anyway, so he gave him a staff, a big staff, as a gift. And the Prophet said to him, remarked him, that this is going to be a sign between you and me on the day of Qiyamah. So as in, the educated interpretation is that this is what will make you successful, or this is sort of a gift to you, sort of your identifier because you did something so great. This is sort of an identifier for you. So Abdullah bin Unais, when he died, his will was that his staff be buried with him because this was something given to him by the Prophet, and remarked as well that this is going to be a sign between you and I on the day of Qiyamah. Hence he went with his staff. Remind me, who else went in the grave with what object? Someone, another Sahabi during Badr? Anyone?
It was with the sword with the
Sword.
stick.
Yes. Yep. Sword, that the stick that became the sword. Yes.
Yeah, the holy stick sword.
Yep. So, so this is one of the incidents where this particular thing happened, and this is all aftermath of Uhud. Now, another incident that happened is called Al-Raji'. Raji' is a well uh, somewhere near Jeddah. Uh, it's there are two different places. People, the problem is it's not very clear, but they say that there's a place called Rabi'a, and Jeddah is a city, right? So it's between Jeddah and Rabi'a. There's a place. So it's like really far down south from Medina. And remember, these guys are in Medina right now. The Prophet is in Medina with the Sahaba, right? So in Safar, in the month of Safar, in fourth year of Hijrah, um, these people came to the Prophet from. I'm sorry, just lost one of them. Yeah. Now, this tribe of Huzail, whose guy was just assassinated, this tribe was so ticked off that they were hell bent on doing something really dirty and trying in their own way to teach Muslims a lesson. So what they did was they asked two tribes to side with them, and these two tribes were Adal and Qadra, and asked them that you should go to the Prophet and ask him that we have a lot of people who want to become Muslim, but we need teachers and get as many qualified teachers as you can.
How did the tribes agree?
Sorry?
How did the tribes agree to do that?
So these are pagan tribes. So they have their own political ambitions. So tribes generally um, side with other tribes depending on how they are inclined. This is why you remember in Uhud, Quraysh were accompanied by two to three different tribes who gave them with a lot of armor and other things. So that used to be the tribal way that they were allies and they were access. So tribes would always side with their companion tribes just so that they can maintain unity and um, they are not sort of overpowered by others. But they never thought about obviously doing the right thing. That's why they did what they did, what I'm about to tell. So these two tribes, they went to the Prophet and they basically pretended that they have accepted Islam. And when they pretended they have accepted Islam, they asked for teachers, and the Prophet gave them, some books say seven, some say eight, some say 10. Let's say between 7 to 10 people, uh, um, Sahaba, who were one of the best in terms of teaching. They knew more Quran than others, and they were like very, very learned Sahaba. So the Prophet gave them these Sahaba. They were headed by a Sahabi named Asim bin Sabit radiallahu anhu. So as these people left Medina and they were near the well of Rajia, they were surrounded by about 100 to 150 men who ambushed them and started throwing arrows, shooting arrows on them. They immediately knew that they had been ambushed, and this was all a trick and a treachery. So they went up a hill to defend themselves, and they basically started shooting arrows as well. Now remember, they were going down south as teachers, not for a battle, not for a war. So they were not armed either. They were just like whatever they were carrying, right? So they started defending themselves to the stage that most of them were martyred. At this stage, there were four or 5 people left. And lo and behold, Asim bin Sabit fought to the time that his arrows got exhausted. He fought with his spear broke. He fought with his sword until his sword was so dull that it couldn't do any damage. And he knew, now I'm going to be martyred. But before he was martyred, he made a dua. He invoked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. And in his dua, he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "O Allah, inform our Prophet that we were sincere and did not die as a coward. O Allah, I protected your religion in daytime. Please protect my body at night time." Now, the question is, why did he make this dua? Now, the background to it is that during Badr, he killed someone who had a very rich wife. And that woman wanted to avenge the death of her husband. So she had a bounty on his head for 100 camels, whoever brings his head to her. And she said, whenever I'll get his head, I'll drink wine in his skull. Astaghfirullah. How sick can a person be, Sick. This is like really, really sick. Anyway, so Asim knew that his body will be mutilated, his head will be taken off, and his skull will be used as a picture. So he made this dua, Ya Allah, I protected your religion in daytime. Please protect my body at night time. Who wants to see his head as a picture, right? So obviously he's a human, right? When he died, we'll come to 3 people who are alive right now later on. When he died, the kuffar from these 3 qabail, 3 tribes, they rushed to get his body because this was a prized possession. It's like whoever gives the body is going to get 100 Mercedes S-Class. Who's going to miss that, right? Brand new Mercedes S-Classes, 100. So the camels were like, 100 camels means 1 Mercedes each. So they were like, let's go and get that body. As soon as they went to his body, a huge swarm of wasps came from somewhere and would not allow them to take the body. So they said, okay, well, let's leave the body for now. We'll come back at night because swarms are not going to stay here forever, right? Swarms are going to go back. So yeah. So at night they came back to retrieve the body. Lo and behold, from somewhere, and it hadn't rained for ages there, somewhere a river gushed out of the hill, took Asim Raziyallahu anhu's body and took it somewhere in the desert that no one knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah protected his body that no one knows to this day where his body went. And when this was discussed in later on, Umar bin Khattab, when he heard this news, he said, Allah verily protects his believing slaves after death, just as he does during his lifespan. As and this is basically mentioned in Ibn Hisham and other books, and even Sahih al-Bukhari. So imagine the taqwa of this Sahabi that he. Sorry, go on.
If the river took the body away, he wasn't buried, was he? Then he didn't have a janazah.
It's Allah's will. We don't know. I don't know. I can't comment on it. And for shuhada, there is no namaz janazah. Primarily, I told you in the last class in Ghazwa Uhud, the shuhada are not dead. Shuhada are alive as per Quran. So there is no namaz janazah for the shuhada. And he was a shaheed, so there is no namaz janazah anyway. And where Allah took him, it's Allah's sort of remit. We can't say anything. Right, and you don't need to be buried. It's a sunnah that people get buried. It's a sunnah started from the very first person who was killed on earth, and that's something that we Muslims do. But Allah has His own ways, so Allah took the body away. Allah buried it through other means, whatever, we don't know. Allah has kept it hidden from us. As far as we know, Allah protected His body. But the thing that we should look into right now is Allah protected this person after death. Why? Because He protected Allah's religion in daytime. Now, what are we doing to protect Allah's religion? We don't have to fight to protect Allah's religion, right? The only thing we need to do to protect Allah's religion in our life is to follow the religion, is to follow the Sunnah, is to follow the Quran, is to follow the orders and the commandments Allah has given us directly and through the Prophet, So if we are doing all the halal kam and we are refraining from haram kam, what are we doing? We are protecting Allah's religion, which means what? We can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, if you think we have protected your religion, please protect us from all the shar. Please protect us from the hellfire. Please protect our bodies from mutilation in the qabr. Please protect us from the azab in qabr. Please protect us from the zillat. Please honor us if we have honored your religion. So we can basically go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all these questions and we can make these du'as. The first thing is that we need to make sure that we can actually stand and say, yes, Ya Allah, we have done something, if not much, we have done something. So please, you have the biggest, infinite rahmat. Give rahmah from your rahmat. And Allah's rahmat is infinite. Allah is going to give His rahmat if you ask for it. Just invoke Allah's mercy. We should always invoke Allah's mercy by telling that we have done something, like a very petty thing, even if you think it's a big thing, always think of it as a very petty thing and invoke Allah's mercy on yourself, your parents, your siblings, your relatives, your neighborhood, the Muslims of the world. Always invoke mercy. Allah's mercy is infinite. Even if you ask Allah to have mercy on all the Muslims that have come to the world up until this date, to the time of judgment, Allah's mercy is infinite. It's not going to end. So our du'as can be as ambitious as we want to, as long as we are trying to invoke mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, 3 of the Sahaba who were left alive, they were asked that, come down and we'll spare you and we'll protect you, because we have no use of you. Now Asim has died, so what's the use? Just come down and we'll protect you. These 3 Sahaba basically, in their innocence, they thought they might be right, so they came down. When they came down, these guys pounced on them and tied them to logs. When they tied them to logs, they knew that the whole plan was treachery from the start, so they were never going to protect them. So the Sahaba, one of the Sahaba, he said that, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to obey anything you say to me. So he basically refused to do anything. So when he refused to do anything, he was executed on the spot. The 2 who were remaining, they were sold to 2 different tribes. One was sold to the son of Umayyah bin Khalaf in Quraysh, Sufyan bin Umayyah bin Khalaf. This is the same Umayyah bin Khalaf who used to do zulm on Bilal radhiyallahu anhu. Because this Sahabi, Zaid, who was given to them, he was also involved in killing Umayyah bin Khalaf as one of the persons who took part in Badr. The second Sahabi, Khubayb radhiyallahu anhu, he was given to another tribe, sold to another tribe for similar reasons. He basically killed someone in Badr of someone, so they basically purchased Khubayb. Now, both of them, interestingly, had something that came down in history that kept their names alive. What happened was, when the day came for Khubayb radhiyallahu anhu's execution, Khubayb radhiyallahu anhu asked for a bath. So he said, I need to take a bath, I need a razor as well, I need to trim myself, and I need to feel good, clean, and then you can just execute me whatever you want to do. So they gave him a razor. They allowed him to take a bath. So he took a bath. While he had a razor in his hand, a baby came to him or crawled up to him, and his mother started crying because she knew that it's the prisoner who's going to be executed. So the guy doesn't have anything to lose. He might just harm the child. So Khubayb said, Wallahi, as in he was basically vowing to them, and he woe to you. Do you think I'm going to harm this little child? Why am I going to harm this little child? I'm a Muslim, I'm not going to do this. No, take your child back. And the same lady later on after Fateh Makkah, she said that we saw Khubayb eating grapes while he was chained. He was not given any grapes or anything. This sustenance was coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly to him. And he was eating grapes before he was executed. But before he was actually executed, he asked to pray 2 rakat. He was allowed to pray 2 rakat. He prayed 2 rakat before his execution. And he said to them, had I not feared that you are going to call me a coward, I would have prayed my 2 rakat with patience and long rakat. But then you would have thought that I'm a coward. Hence, I've made my rakat very short. And then he was executed. However, this was another ijtihad done by a Sahabi. And to date, if a Muslim is being executed in any land, in anywhere, for whatever crime he has done or he hasn't done, whatever the case may be, it's a sunnah to pray 2 rakat and then face your punishment. Obviously, may Allah protect us from it, may it be through committing such a crime or may it be through persecution. Either way, may Allah protect us all from such a thing. Lastly, the third Sahabi who was sold to Quraysh, his death was basically they made a spectacle out of it. So what they did was they announced, they gave a holiday, and the souks were closed, the markets were closed, and everyone came to see how he's going to be killed in cold blood. And this Sahabi Zaid, radiallahu anhu, Abu Sufyan came to him, and Abu Sufyan asked him, by Allah, do you not wish that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam should be in your place right now? So it's like basically he was trying to instigate him that, now you are on a deathbed just because of following Muhammad bin Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So do you not pray that he should have been here instead of me, I should have been spared my life. And this Sahabi basically says, he replies that by Allah, I do not wish that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were in the place I occupy, or that even a thorn could hurt him where he is sitting with his family. So the love for the Prophet was so immense that they did not even want the Prophet to get the pain of a thorn prick. And they were like, we are fine, you can kill us, no problem with that, because we are following the Prophet, but we don't want him to come in any pain. And then he was obviously executed after that in a way that was not that should not have happened the way it happened. But anyway, these are all Sahaba, and Sahaba are radiallahu anhum, which means that Allah is Razi with them, and they are Razi with Allah. They have been accepted by Allah, and they have accepted Allah as well. The story of Well of Mauna is another slightly longer story. So I will, or incident, not story. Sorry, stories look fake. It's an incident. I think we will do Mauna inshallah next time and not in this class because it's already 7:30. If I start Mauna, it might take another half an hour. So we'll discuss in Seerah Mauna next class, and if we get time, we will touch a bit more on the Prophet's wives, inshallah, and then we will, after that, jump on to the next part, which is towards the Ghazwa Khandak, um, or the Battle of Trenches, and the things sort of precursors, because every time we discuss a battle, we first talk about the background, the precursor, the battle itself, then the conclusion, and then the aftermath. So there's a sequence that we follow. So then we'll do that as well. The other thing is we haven't done another retreat session now. The last one was in October, if I'm not wrong. So inshallah, I'm thinking that we can think of sitting in Easter holidays before Ramadan, because once Ramadan starts, obviously we'll have a lot of Ramadan stuff going on. There is no time to sit and do anything. So let's try to plan and sit, inshallah, the first Sunday of Easter holidays, which is I think 21st or 20th, whatever the date may be. Think about it and put your yes or no for that Sunday. If we have enough people, then inshallah we'll do a retreat, a similar interactive one, and we'll see. We might ask you guys to show your cooking skills and bring something, go by yourselves then. ठीक है, inshallah. As I said, try to invoke mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more and more.
Wait, what was the date for the retreat?
The date would be, let me check. There's my mobile. Let me open the dates here. So I think the holidays are starting from 17th. 19th is Easter Sunday. Ramadan is going to start from 23rd or 24th April. So I would suggest 19th of April as our retreat. Because of Ramadan, I don't think we'll have many people going on holidays anyway. So if you guys are available on 19th, or if we have a good majority available on 19th, then inshallah let's sit on.
Because I'm not sure about like.
Huh? Repeat. What were you saying? Repeat, please. I heard something, but I think you guys disconnected. Or chalo, anyway, type your question. Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
I'm not sure about anyone else, but GCSE or revision will be a top priority at that time.
Oh, is it? Is it May that GCSEs are starting? Is it? Yeah. If you guys have.
What is muting this? Can you please stop?
Huh?
Someone keeps muting me, and it's like.
Okay, no, I'm not muting you.
Yeah.
So if you guys are if you're preparing for GCSEs or anything else in April and May, then obviously we'll just skip that part then for sure, because obviously everyone is going to be busy then. If not, then we'll do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the lesson.
Thank you for waiting.